Hey, what's up, Stay Tuners? It's your good friend Jimbo here. Just letting you know, before you listen to this awesome episode that we give you guys week in and week out, head over to Twitter, follow us there at ST Sports Podcast, as well as our Facebook page. Like and share that. And then head over to YouTube after you're done doing all that stuff and subscribe to our channel, because we will be live streaming within the next few weeks, and that's where you're going to want to watch and interact with us. So hit Twitter up, ST Sports Podcast, Facebook, like and share our page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Enjoy the show.
You heard the rest. Now here's the best. Stay Tuned Sports Podcast with Jimbo and O'Brien.
And hello, Stay Tuners. Welcome back to another episode of Stay Tuned Sports. And we got our boys back here with me. So
yes, don't panic, folks.
Exactly.
I know you've had to listen to 2 of his boring episodes without us. We apologize immensely. We also have Allentown in the house.
Back from the dead.
Literally.
Allentown here was suffering from a bit of the cuntyitis. I mean, bronchitis. I mean...
Pneumonia.
Being an Islanders fan, that's, common.
Yeah, I
So.
guess. Better than being a Flyer fan, I'll tell you that.
Hey, I don't know if you guys saw, I did talk about Gritty. I don't know if you guys saw about that. He was...
Exonerated?
Exactly. No charges filed.
That's an inside cover-up.
That little shit of a kid made up the fucking story. He's jealous that Gritty is more handsome than he is.
I thought it was doomsday for him.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I hope everybody's doing well out there today.
Yep.
Hate to start off a show with a little bit of sadness, but I want to make sure we get this out there. St. Louis Blues versus Anaheim Ducks. Defenseman Jay... Who?
Who? What?
Anaheim Ducks.
Wasn't that a movie?
Let the comedy to me. Holy hell.
Do we have to start that asking are you smelling burnt toast already?
Yes, already. Jay Bowmeister.
Bowmeister.
I'll leave
Bowmeister.
the announcement to you, too.
7:50 in the first period, score tied 1-1. Collapses on the bench with a cardiac issue. Defibrillator brought out. He's revived, and I'm happy to report he's doing better. Just want to send my personal get wells and thinking of yous to him and his family. And whew, that's scary. I mean, 17-year veteran, you said, or 18?
Yeah, 17-year veteran. And I don't know if you guys saw the video, but he just keeled over with his eyes wide open. Like, it almost looked like, he dropped his drink or whatever and just boom, fell over. And I want to give a little shout to the Anaheim Ducks, too, because it wasn't just the Blues training staff that helped out. It was a group effort between both teams.
Right.
Just got right over there. And, I mean, God forbid if they didn't work together, who would have known what would have happened, But it's definitely good to hear that he's in good spirits. And hopefully
a big thank you
Thank
to...
God that game wasn't in Washington, huh?
in Washington. I'm missing something.
Working together,
Oh,
teams.
okay. Anyway.
Hey, we'll give him that one, okay? That was his best try so far.
Well, he finally ate one piece of beef jerky, and the Sasquatch is coming out. Give him time. It's like the Snickers commercial. But a big thank you to the staff, first responders, and everybody that helped save him.
Yes.
For me personally,
and all of us from the show as
right?
well.
But I mean, not let you guys do your own thing. But
Yeah.
that scary moment. We could be here one day, gone the next, folks.
Yeah, I mean...
So just love each other.
Not to bring up about Kobe, but look at that. I mean...
Kobe! Oh.
He was just flying to his daughter's
Right.
game and gone.
It's still bothering me.
Yeah.
It is. I ain't gonna lie. Not a Lakers fan, but I love Kobe,
Yeah.
and it's still hitting
How
home.
about, bringing him up real quick, did you see about the LeBron James dunk? How...
Did you see about the shitty LeBron James tattoo?
No, I didn't see about
Oh
about
my
that.
God. Go with the dunk first.
Yeah, but he
He
LeBron
recreated-
James,
Yeah, I saw that.
and supposedly he said he didn't have a plan, and maybe he didn't, but to put picture to picture,
I think Kobe's is better.
well, yeah, I mean, everything Kobe did was better,
Right.
you know,
Only
but
one person Kobe didn't do it better than.
MJ,
Got that right.
yeah,
And MJ had a big respect for him.
yeah,
When Kobe had a big respect for him. Yeah.
So, funny news is LeBron James, which I admire,
okay,
gets a Black Mamba tattoo.
okay,
And you think with his money that he would have went to a better artist.
really,
how
that
could you
bad?
get a bad tattoo this day and age?
Oh.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm getting at, like, how could you get a
During
bad
the commercial break, I will look it up for you, and you will comment before we
tattoo? Oh, I
end.
bet you it might be bad, but that's what I'm saying. How
That's what I'm
do you get
saying,
a
I
bad
mean-
tattoo today. It's so
Like, you
crazy.
can tell when somebody gets a design to look bad. You know what I mean? Like, there's, like, not look bad, but, like, be goofy. But this is just, like, poor all the way around. But, you know, funny shit. What are you going to do?
So, you know, being that we were, you know, we brought up about the Blues guys, kind of getting back to hockey news. Alex Ovechkin closing in on the 700th goal of his career. Only 7 other players have done it. And it posed the question, is he the greatest scorer of all time?
No.
I agree.
No.
Who do you-
I think if we try this take one more time, I might be able to get a little quicker.
Okay. So, you know, going back
No.
to some
I don't even know why this is a topic of conversation. You know, this is like asking if Jimmy Butler was better than Michael Jordan. Like, listen, Ovechkin's good. I'm not going to knock him.
yeah.
But you think of the Mario Lemieux, the Wayne Gretzky's, all the 80s players that put up big
Mike
numbers.
Bossy's.
Sidney Crosby. I mean,
That's why I was surprised he, as much as I don't like Crosby, I was surprised when I read the ESPN article, they got some of their writers to give their opinion of who is, and none of them said Crosby.
well, because here's what I'll do to defend him. I am a Penguins fan, but this isn't where it's coming from. He's also a very big playmaker, and his assists are out of this world.
That was the only thing I
Ovechkin's
was
not even
thinking.
close in the assist realm.
Yeah.
So, best scorer? Like, how can you even say that without even being retired and seeing what he finishes at?
Yeah.
Like, why is this a topic?
Bobby Hull is out there, too.
Right.
Yeah, he's one of them, and that's the one.
Gretzky?
The one
Mario Lemieux? Jaromir Jagr? Like, what?
The one
Gretzky
argument
to
I
me-
saw
to me,
was
Gretzky would be the
Yeah, that's-
scorer.
Well, he's the MJ, in my opinion, right
Yeah.
now.
I agree. Gretzky's the greatest ever.
now the one argument I saw about that was, well, and I hate this argument, and Gretzky played in a different time.
Yeah, when it was harder.
Exactly. So
They got beat up a lot more. You had to have a defender.
Yeah.
They had a guy on the ice that defended Gretzky no matter what.
Yeah.
You went near him, you got a beat down.
Right.
This is what happened.
You had
Yeah.
to.
because with the goalies nowadays, with all the training and everything back then, it was just like, all right, put your beer down, go out into the net.
Well, right. I mean, it might have been easier to score then, but the facts that the brutality then,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's more technical hockey now.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, just being a fan, and I don't mean to disrespect any of the old timers because they were great. But look like Gordie Howe.
Yeah.
How can you say he's not better
Yeah. I mean, they
than
got
Ovechkin? I'm not being a dick, but like
They
he
got
was
a
Mr.
hat-trick.
Hockey himself,
they got a hat trick named after him.
right?
Which-
So
I mean, the two stats that did jump out to me about Ovechkin, I was like, wow, that's actually really good. Was he has 26 hat tricks in his career and 10 seasons of 40 goals or more.
right.
Now, again, in this day and age, it seems like it's more spread out as far as the
But-
goal scores.
Here's my only argument. He's also known as a one-time shot shooter.
Which, yeah, he is.
He's nothing finesse.
Yeah.
How many times in a game has he been given 10 top of the key, so to speak,
Yeah.
one-time shots, misses 5 of them, scores 2 goals?
Yeah.
Of course, eventually they're going to go in. You're getting wide open because your players are setting you up, and you're just hammering the puck.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's not a good hockey player. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But his whole game right now is built on the one-time hockey shot.
Yeah.
Give it to him, and he ripped. I'll not grant you, it's probably about 110.
I was gonna say, I remember
But
last year's
that's what a
All-Star
shot
game
is.
was
I
like
don't see
110.
any finesse out of him anymore.
Yeah.
And all those years they didn't win the cup, in the playoffs, he wasn't grinding.
Yeah.
Like, I'll defend Crosby on that. When he hits he gets in there and does what he has to do.
Yeah.
Mario Lemieux did that. Gretzky did that. You know what I mean? Like,
But here's the thing: these other players you're talking about too make their teams better.
right.
Does Ovechkin really make Washington better?
Well, I'm going to say no because they couldn't win the cup until they brought in 15 more players of his caliber.
What I'm getting at, where you have these other players, Boston
Right.
made everybody else better. Mario Lemieux made everybody else better on the team.
Right.
Crosby makes people better.
Yeah.
Right, it's been proven. Look at all the Wilkes-Barre Scranton players that came up, went on Crosby's line, and scored 40 goals for the season.
Yeah.
Jake Gensel, all of them. They all say, playing with Crosby is like no other.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big Sid the Kid fan. We know that.
Even last night with the kid they traded for, Zucker,
Yeah.
right off the bat jumped on the front line with Crosby, and the few break-ins or highlights they showed seemed like he was with Crosby for 10 years. Like the chemistry.
Crosby takes a lot of players under his wing and gives back to the sport.
Yeah.
As much as Ovechkin is good, he's known as a cocky, mouthy asshole.
Yeah.
He's only about himself.
I have always been the one thing that turned me off about Ovechkin. He just seemed,
When your fellow countryman, Evgeny Malkin,
yeah,
barely likes you.
Well, I mean, he likes
They
to.
are arch rivals.
No, but they are from Russia. When they played on the Olympic team together, there were issues. So, Crosby and Ovechkin had a good time at the All-Star game together. If your fellow countryman hates you, there's a problem. Yeah. I don't think he's liked by much.
Must be a different kind of vodka or something.
Right. Yeah.
Ovechkin bought the
He drinks
$300.
tequila.
Malcolm
You're
bought
right.
the $5 one.
No, Ovechkin drinks tequila. Hey, wait a minute. Shut up, Juan.
I thought I gave him his pink slip last week. Damn it.
Go fuck yourself. That guy's fucking angry. Jesus.
So I guess we all could agree that Ovechkin isn't the greatest scorer.
No.
Me and you brought up Allentown that we think Gretzky is. You're going Gretzky, or who do you think is?
I don't think they're... See, it's like comparing boxers from different weight classes and saying who's the greatest ever. You can't.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm
Gretzky
trying
would
to...
stand up in today's game, though. That's, you know what I mean. If you think about what we're saying, you put him over the last 3 or 4 decades, you could fit Gretzky in anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
Any decade, you could fit him in, and he'd be perfect. Can we do that with these other players?
I think Crosby would.
And really, I mean, I think...
And I'm not a big Crosby fan. I'm not. I'm a Malkin fan.
Yeah.
But I think his versatility of his game, absolutely. And that's what I mean. Like, Ovechkin is a sometimes one-trick pony. And I mean, I'm not saying he can't skate. I'm not saying he can't play, but he gets those, almost like in the NBA when you get that
He's like
great
a James
offense.
Harden.
Like a LeBron.
50 and
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. James Harden of NHL.
But he's not playing the best defense at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but for me to take Lemieux, Crosby, Gretzky, Gordie Howe, all the great players from back in the past, it's like putting them in different weight classes. I can't say who's the best. I think he can do a good solid top 10, and that's where it would fall.
So then, between Crosby and Ovechkin, you would say Crosby is the better scorer. Because when we say score, you gotta say points. I guess you can't say.
Okay, but then you got to count the assists because
That's what I mean. You gotta.
then
go by-
I'd go Crosby.
Yeah.
well, that's why he said points. You get points.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
both ends.
Give him some more jerky.
So
You answer this boy back, and he gets all flustered.
Holy shit! Somebody was reading a dictionary while he was sick. Flustered, eh? Oh yeah, well,
now-
supercalifragilisticexpialidocious to you, pal.
now, before we came on to start recording, you found a story that you wanted to talk about.
Well, I mean, I don't want to talk about it
No,
because it's getting ridiculous. But
Yeah.
sports fans, I think you got to know if you haven't found out by now. 2 Ohio State defensive players, one a junior, one a senior this year, supposed to be starters, arrested on rape allegations and kidnapping.
Okay.
I'll go over the quick storyline. The incident allegedly occurred on the evening of February 4th at the Sawmill Place Boulevard apartment that one of the players who is Ripe and Wint share on the city's northeast side. An affidavit filed by the Columbus, Ohio police alleged that this is how the incident occurred. A woman was hanging out with Ripe at the apartment when they began to engage in consensual sex. The woman stopped, moved away, and told Ripe she didn't want to continue. Wint then entered the room, like the Lone Ranger, and stated, "Can I join?" Wint then allegedly grabbed the woman by the neck and forced her onto her hands and knees and then raped her. Ripe then held her in place by the hips and with his body while Wint forced oral sex. The woman pushed Wint away, but he forced her again to have oral sex. After several minutes, both parties stopped, and Ripe told the woman that she needed to say it was consensual on a video recording. Ripe then recorded her asking if he wanted her face on the video since she was crying, and he told her no, just say it was consensual on the recording while laughing at her. So basically, he said, "No, I don't want your face. Just say it."
Yeah.
After telling she needed to take a shower, Ripe then drove the woman back to her residence. So, I mean, you got two players. I mean, if these allegations are true,
Yeah.
hopefully they never play football again.
I think football is the last thing they need to worry about right now. And
I mean, they started having sex, correct?
Consensual.
yes,
Consensual.
but then she said she didn't want to do it no more.
Midway through.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a tough spot to be in.
Now.
No, it is, but no is no.
Yeah.
No is no. But after
But now
yes.
here's the thing, though, and we see.
Well, I get what you're saying, but no is no.
But after yes.
Now we have the Lone Ranger coming in and wanting to join in.
Now
That's-
the odd part of the whole
that's
thing.
the- yeah.
Yeah.
Hey ho!
Now did-
Silver.
Now, did she say?
Not trying to make light of it, but
Now, did she
like
say
when you come in with just like a
he came in and
trouser, a snake, and a mask?
Did she say he came in and asked to join, or did the friend?
No. He opened the door and goes, "Da, da, da, da.
Can I join?
Can I join?"
See, I'm
And
just.
I guess he was, pulling a Louis C.K. and rubbing it
Yeah.
out.
There's a lot more to this story. Than
There is, and I mean, we've
out
seen
there
this
right
happen to the Florida State quarterback a couple years ago, where a girl alleged raped. They kicked him off the team, and then 2 years later, she came out and goes, "Oh no, that's not really what happened."
I would have a better time, in my opinion, defending these players in this situation
Okay,
if
they just flat out stopped.
the Lone Ranger didn't come in and it was just one-on-one.
But that's what, yeah. But see, that's
Number two, can you speak into this camera and say it was consensual?
that's what I mean. Like,
Who
there's,
the fuck does that?
yeah,
Do you want my face on it? No, you're crying. So try to straighten that up a little bit. Well, why the fuck are you crying?
yeah, but that's the girl saying in her statement that all happened.
Right.
So the players haven't really
But
released
who
a
makes
statement
that up? Out of all the rape allegations that we've come to find false,
because
it's usually I told him no, but I just laid there and he kept going, and because I
Why
forced.
in the middle all of a sudden?
where
he's-
were they
No.
dating? Is it did
Does
they
it matter?
It could.
Why?
They were
Because
dating at that point.
She could be mad about something.
Exactly. Broke up, or the player got
But
caught
to make
cheating.
up that story,
Yes. Because if he's a star at Ohio
Could
State,
be right.
I disagree.
and
Well,
listen,
I mean that's what this is for.
and I'm not saying she's right or wrong, and I'm not saying the players are right or wrong with this either, but I'm just saying we've seen this happen. That
Right. My sixth sense is telling me, and usually I do err on the caution,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, is she crying rape? This time I kind of really, truly, my first gut instinct is this happened.
And this really burns me to have to agree with them over there.
I could see the smoke coming off.
But the one part he's right about is no is no. It doesn't
No,
matter if it's
but
midway
again, though-
between or not. No is no.
Again,
Right.
this is just the girl's statement, though.
And do you think they were really dating if the Lone Ranger comes in and it seemed more like a
But
party
again,
bullshit?
this is the girl's statement, so maybe the Lone Ranger never came in. That's what I'm saying. I wish these players.
I'm going to say that and put my faith in the police that without corroborating evidence that they're not exposing in this article because it's going to be under investigation, for them
Okay.
to file charges against the second man and put him in the county jail, there's going to be more than what is said.
Yeah, I didn't think about that part, but I
Because
do
they're
agree with you.
not
There's
just-
a lot of weird stuff
I'll tell you this much, is I guarantee
that had
she
to come
got
out.
swabbed. There's DNA.
Yeah.
I guarantee both men's DNA are there then. I guarantee there's a lot more going on here for a prestigious department like Columbus.
Yeah.
We're not talking, Exeter Borough Police Department.
Yeah.
Jokes. But do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I would put my faith in that the investigation was conducted, and they're not going to just blow off.
I just hope it's not what we've seen over the past couple of years. Like I said, the Florida State quarterback was supposed to be a NFL player. I forget what round he was supposed to get drafted in. Ex-girlfriend.
Well, what about the
female.
Brian Banks story?
Brian Banks, I was trying to remember what his name was.
He wasn't
Same
a quarterback. He was a
No, he's a second
I just
story.
watched that on Netflix. Good show,
Yeah?
folks. The Brian Banks story.
Good.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
Speaking of shows, so you didn't see All or Nothing yet?
No.
So Allentown, you watched. So it's only eight episodes?
Binged all 8 of them.
Did it drop all 8 at once, or was it like a weekly?
All 8. No.
Okay. So I only watched the first 2 episodes.
So is it safe to say that that's the title of the Ripe and Weinz story with the girl, All or Nothing?
I didn't realize I did that.
I'm sorry, I couldn't.
I didn't realize. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry I did that.
We just jumped right from Rape to All or Nothing.
You know what? Like, I always try to set up ourselves. I always try to set up ourselves for a good segue, and I finally get one, and it's the wrong way.
That's what she said. This is the wrong way of doing this, folks.
But yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes. Not to ruin too much of it, because I'm pretty sure you're gonna want to watch it. One of Avante Maddox, the second episode they show when he got hurt in Green Bay by the douchebag that took him out. Watching the episode, he was actually, I think, a lot better shape than what he looked like when you were watching it live. He was actually pleading with the training staff, "Let me up, I'm fine." Like, that's why you could see him moving and stuff. And then he just, guys, seriously, come on. Just 1 minute left in the game. That's all I want to play is the 1 minute.
All they kept saying is, we got to win this
Yeah.
game.
Right.
And
I got to be out here. We got to win this game. We got to beat Aaron Rodgers.
yeah.
And they did.
Yeah, it was like 2 plays later when Bradham picked the ball off.
Intercepted.
And then, who was it? Was it Carson? Was on the sideline yelling, "Just go down! Go down!" Because Bradham was trying to run it back for a touchdown. I'm like, oh, fuck. But it was actually so far a good show. Like, it's not so reality drama Hard Knocks, But here is the question that
it follows the team around throughout the whole season.
Well, yeah, and I want to bring this question up too, because the first episode basically starts off, us at the parade, the Super Bowl parade, leading up, and then the following season, the disaster there.
Did you see me on TV?
Yeah, it was a guy with a brown bag over his head.
The double doink.
The double doink was, yeah. So, if you guys were Doug Peterson, would you be totally against your team being on a Hard Knocks show or
Now, I guess he sort of was, but
Okay.
you get picked for this show by the NFL, you have to do it.
See, I would,
Part of it. It
if
has
that
to
was the
be
case,
done.
I would be telling my guys 5-minute interviews.
See, now, Hard Knocks is one that you can pick or choose to do or not.
Okay.
This All or Nothing, this is the 3rd or 4th season it's in. It's Carolina so far, the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
What
That's
kind
why-
of backwoods bullshit is this? That deal they got with the NFL?
Yeah.
That's why Des Bryant's not in the league anymore.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because he showed what kind of a baby he was
Yeah.
in the meetings. This is the show that did it.
Because
Now, this show, every year, they pick a team. The NFL picks a team. And Amazon or,
Yeah.
follows them around. And they do a whole thing on this.
Because the reason why I bring up that question is it was the Zach Ertz interview, the one interview that he had, just seemed like the team was more focused on worrying about this show, about the interviews and everything, than actually going out there and doing this shit,
Well,
playing the game.
It's definitely not that at all. As you watch the rest of the
Okay,
way, absolutely
because I get it, and like I said, I only seen 2 episodes, but I'm like, maybe this is why Nelson Aguilar dropped balls left and right.
He's on it for seconds. They don't even really get into
No,
this.
I heard he dropped balls because he was with T.O. eating popcorn.
But the one thing that is on this show that's funny is the guy that caught the
Yeah,
babies.
and he actually has a credit on the show. The guy
Wait,
that's
I'm sorry, what?
I was catching them babies.
Oh.
Like Nelson.
they played it on. They played that
That's
clip,
funny.
and he actually has his name credited on the episode. But yeah, like I said, I mean, it sounds like a pretty good show so far.
It's put together very well.
Yeah.
It shows that one thing I can tell you with the show is
Even Jeffrey Lurie with his speech
Jeffrey Lurie's
about
fantastic
noise.
owner. One thing you can tell is that when they're doing their practices, they do try to do their best job of each week comes by. They take each week as it comes because, of course, you had Angelo, whatever, Cataldi in the morning.
Dude, he's such an ass.
Oh, he's the word. The doomsday, death.
I used to be a fan of his.
Right.
So one of the best parts I thought of the whole thing was you got to see how they kept the outside noise.
Is it weird to you? Does he seem louder?
Got louder all of a sudden. They keep the outside noise from the Angelo Cataldis and all of those world and they just focused on every week.
Yeah.
Were they happy? No, of course they didn't like losing, but it really kept the team together. And as much as the show showed what kind of a not good teammate Des Bryant was, this show shows what Brandon Graham is a class act.
Yeah.
Positivity from day one all the way through.
I didn't need no show to know that.
Me neither, but just to actually see it,
even his
never
daughter.
Down. We've got this, guys. We've got this. Yeah. It doesn't matter. We're gonna make it. We're gonna do that. I mean, it was great the whole way.
Brandon Graham is just one of those guys that's infectious.
Yeah.
Like his smile, like you can't be sad around him.
Yeah.
He's just an infectious personality.
And as he talked trash on the field, wow.
I bet.
The one thing that he did say, I think it might have been in the second episode, and I'll tie this in with some Sixers talk. The offense wasn't doing anything, stalling. Fans were booing, and Brandon Graham is sitting on the bench and just, I forget who he was talking to, but looks over and goes, wait till we get going. They'll be back on us. Like, he
was positive the whole way through.
Yeah, and as a Philly fan, like, if you're an Eagles fan, if you're going to give it, you better be able to take that.
There's one scene where they're getting announced. It's him, Maddox, and Wentz. They're doing some kind of charity thing.
Okay.
And they're in this stairwell, and I think it's during the 3-game losing streak or whatever. It's during the holidays. And he just looks at them and he says,
"Oh yeah,
we're 5 and whatever.
Yeah,
we're good, man. We're gonna be perfect." Now this is outside the field.
Yeah,
this is just him and Wentz, and we got this, dude. We're perfect. We're in great shape.
Yeah,
that's great to be that way.
So before we get to some Sixers talk, we're gonna take a quick break here, and we will be back in 30 to 45 seconds. Hey, what's up, Stay Tuners? It's your good friend Jimbo here to let you know that this episode is sponsored by Podcorn, a website that helps podcasters find podcast sponsorship opportunities. I found it very easy to set up an account with them. Then all I had to do was find sponsors I wanted to work with. Next, I had to set my fee and where to put their ad in this episode and send the proposal over. That easy. Literally only took me a few minutes to do. You don't give up any rights to your show, and Podcorn will be there to help you every step of the way. So click the link in our show notes and head over to podcorn.com right now and sign up today and start earning. And we are back to Stay Tuned Sports. Welcome back. Hopefully you guys are still here after that quick little break.
Wait, where are we?
Stay Tuned Sports.
I thought we were in my basement.
So before we left, we were talking about Brandon Graham, telling the crowd basically, they'll be back on us. And it made me think about the whole Joel Embiid incident going on with Philly fans now as well. Earlier this week, he was, I guess, had an off game. And naturally, Philly fans did not like it, so they booed him. They let him know how he felt. Following night, scored a big three-pointer or whatever, looked at the crowd, told him basically shut the fuck up. And then went on Instagram and posted a...
Post Malone?
Speaking of that, Super Bowl commercial. Did you see that one? The Post Malone Super Bowl? It was actually pretty funny. But went on Instagram and posted, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. A former teammate of his responded, Jimmy Butler.
Well, before we get to that, I think somebody should get him some Midol. That's just my 2 cents.
Midol, if you need some sponsorship and want to pay us, just...
Because that's the biggest bitch statement I've ever heard over getting booed.
Yeah.
You long to live.
And you know what, like...
Tell him to stop watching Batman, will you?
From my understanding, like, it's a lot of the fans are questioning his leadership, skills, and maturity, this and that. First off, I always thought Ben Simmons was the leader of that team over him. Like, why is he even considered a leader? I know he's a good player when he wants to be, but just seems like he's not up for that challenge.
Well, it's simple in Philadelphia. If you're not playing well, you're going to get told.
I don't care how good you are.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I remember Allen Iverson got booed once or twice.
Yeah. And, you know,
if Joel
St.
Embiid,
Charles.
If Joel Embiid thinks he's better than Allen Iverson, he can go back to Africa, but... I don't mean that as a racial thing. But y'all looked at me like I meant it like that, but he's...
Well, that's the end of the show.
Nice knowing you guys. We got 138 episodes before we got fired.
I mean, he's an African-born player.
Yeah.
Came over here. I liked him a lot until these antics.
And it seems like it's, the past 2 years they're really starting to come out more
There's
and more.
a lot
and
of
more.
pressure in Philly now that they have to win, and they're not having a good year.
Yeah.
So play better. It's that simple.
I mean,
Get in the gym, start pulling a Kobe, work harder than everybody else.
And that was another issue that fans have with him is his work ethic. We all don't feel like he is living up to is reaching for his potential that he could have.
Right.
Bet she's spending a lot of time in the club.
Oh, well, yeah, without a doubt, But yeah, Jimmy Butler responding with, I know a team that wouldn't look at you as a villain. Now, trading deadline's passed already, so we can't
You
really...
also meet Robert Kraft down at the brothels.
Maybe that's why they're trying to get him to come there. To make him, mature him a little bit.
We're talking the NFL now?
Robert Kraft.
I know Robert Kraft, the NFL owner.
Because
jerk
the
and
teams
tug.
Talking NBA.
Here, hold on, folks. We'll explain it for the Sasquatch. You see, Miami is the team that made that noise from Jimmy Butler. They're in Florida.
Really?
Robert Kraft got popped in Florida.
I know where he got popped.
So it was just a quick pun that ruined 5 minutes.
Love having to explain himself. It's great.
But Embiid, whatever, kind of backtrack. Next day, put out a hashtag, all love for Philly, blah, blah.
Well, maybe he had an emotional moment, and I can forgive him. Get back to playing and doing your thing. I don't think this is a major issue.
I mean, I kind of do. Your team isn't playing as well as you're supposed to be. The last thing you need to do is make waves for yourself. We've seen...
But we can't expect these players not to have emotions, just as much as the players can't expect the fans not to have emotions.
But, you're in Philly, so you're going to get booed even when you do good. You can't let it get to you.
Right, but so you can't make a mistake.
But Bernie's right, though, too.
Twice today, folks.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, twice.
I thought you were going to...
No, continue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Twice that you said you were with me.
Emotions. I mean, there's still emotions are emotions.
Yeah.
I know these people get paid all this money and they're supposed to be robots, but they're still human beings.
No, yeah, I agree.
Oh, now you agree. Jump on the bandwagon.
Well, I agree with
Way
him.
to stick to your convictions.
I agree with him. I don't agree with you. I never agree with you. You're always
we
wrong.
have recording proof of that.
We interrupt this program with breaking news. This just in. Moments ago. We now go live to our reporter.
Oh, we're on? I couldn't tell with that odd break. Rexton tells all here, folks. A big week for the XFL. Teams playing, people crying, it's all great. But let's take it to the owner and founder, Vince McMahon, for a special news break.
Coming in. You know, just for the record, I appreciate people who speak their mind.
That's me. And I can do it right there.
And you know, I remember some of the things you said about me just the other day. I'm all right with that. I'm a First Amendment advocate.
Yes, you are, and the best one at that.
So, exercising the benefit of my First Amendment rights, I would like to inform you that you're fired.
All right. Thank God. Good riddance to bad rubbish.
You're fired. Get out of my ring.
Cuckoo-ca-choo, the walrus is gone.
Well, alrighty, folks. We just heard the live feed of Pepper Johnson getting fired. Apparently, they had to make mid-season changes. It's week 1, isn't it?
Week 1.
Alrighty, then back to Sasquatch.
Wow. I'm
shocked.
Talk about a short leash.
I just wonder, how the fuck is Allen getting on those live news breaks?
He must be
Juan and him in cahoots.
He must be a meta, like in the DC comics. He must be like the Flash, because he just ran right down to, or out to L.A.
I'm gonna start eating Jack Links. Jesus Christ,
Jack Links, good stuff.
So yeah, this
Pepper Johnson fired week 1.
And you know, before we came on, I remember he was a defense coordinator. I can remember in Allentown, you said he was with Belichick for a couple of the Super Bowls. So he's not a bad coach.
But what could you possibly have done in week 1 to get fired already?
Well, I mean, the only thing that really stood out to me...
Stuck out?
Stuck out. You know,
you got to stuck that out
like
sometimes.
Stooky.
You mean
going into halftime, they were up 17-6, and they ended up losing
17-16 at half.
No, they were up by like 10 points or so, and they gave up 20 more or 20 plus to lose.
What team was he coaching for?
LA Wildcats.
LA Wildcats.
The final score in that game was 37-17.
Yeah. So they were up 17-3.
It was a 1-point game at half.
17-16.
Yeah.
I watched all the games.
All right, but I mean...
But that's the only thing.
He's the head coach, right?
Defensive coordinator.
Oh, he's just the defensive...
Yeah.
Oh, right.
But still,
listen,
the first week of the inaugural season...
That quarterback
brand new
from
league?
Houston,
a brand new league, yeah.
That quarterback from Houston was the best quarterback I saw all weekend.
Yeah, and even with that game, gave up 4 touchdowns to the quarterback. I think there had to be behind the scenes because the other...
he didn't get Sandusky, did he?
Maybe.
Oh, Jesus.
I think but also, too, the LA Wildcats released, well, it's not official yet, but the player who was a team captain on defense said he's a free agent, meaning he got released. LA never came out and said he got released yet, so it sounds like the LA Wildcats are just a shit show and a half.
Well, I guess, but I mean, the XFL looked good this weekend.
It did. You know,
I'm shocked by all this.
I didn't watch any of the Sunday games, but the Saturday games I did. I thought both games were very good. Even though
let's give them a rundown.
Yeah, go ahead.
We had DC versus Seattle.
Fuck
DC won 31-19. We had New York versus Tampa Bay. New York won. Matt McGloin looking good, 23-3. Houston beat LA, which caused Pepper Johnson to get peppered. And Houston beat them 37-17. And then, first time I loved St. Louis in a long time, beat Dallas 15-9.
What a barn burner there.
Yeah.
Well, how about Saturday's game, the Seattle DC game? Everybody's joking around about Vegas having a hand in it. They nailed the over/under. It was what's the total there? Whatever the total was, that's what they posted as
50 points.
Yeah, 50 points. And I think the second game of Saturday missed it by like a half a point or something like that. Like Vegas was pretty close.
Have you guys did watch it, right?
I watched Saturday's games, but not
some of us had to work, but I watched some of it.
What did you... I think some of these rules might get moved over to the NFL.
I don't think you're going to get the kickoff rule moved over.
I think you will.
maybe in the next 10 years, but nothing
Sooner than that.
I think the instant replay.
What he's saying is true, that it's going to happen eventually.
Hey,
Yeah, well,
there's no doubt about it.
he made it sound like next year.
I'd
but
say within
also-
the next 2 years. I'm telling you.
But also, revenue for NFL's up. Their TV deals are going through the roof. Why would they change anything?
Because, number one, you'll still get a kickoff, number one.
But they don't want that.
Num-
NFL
and
does not want
safety.
kickoffs.
And safety of it. It's a safer way to
It
do
is
the
a safer-
kickoff. And it adds more entertainment to the game.
It does, but I think
It's a pretty cool rule.
it is. And
If rules are cool, then you're number one.
Bernie, the kicker kicks way back.
I get it. I saw it.
It's
Less immediate full impact at high speed.
less full impact. They're closer, but it gives you more chance to open up the field and have run backs.
The one rule with the kickoff too, I thought was interesting, was the ball has to go past the 20-yard line in the air.
Yeah, if not, they get it at the other 45.
Oh, they're 45,
Right.
And
So
I
you
think that
really
was a
get
Seattle game.
penalized. It
I
makes
just
the
don't understand how the
strategy of
kicker
the
can't
game.
reach that.
I've
seen it happen.
Yeah,
It makes
I'm
the
like-
it makes the strategy
Well,
of the game
and
change.
Right.
that was the only, I think, downfall from the league this past week is these kickers. They did not look good. Some
The
of the
one
balls.
field goal kicker did.
Yeah,
One
there
guy
was
kicked
one.
The one guy kicked a 60-something yarder.
Yeah,
No, I thought it was 55.
it was 55, but he was the only kicker that looked good. Everybody, all the other kickers looked like they're like wobbly balls and just,
And he got
That was your nickname in high school. Wobbly balls.
Speaking of
Good
kickers with
old
the XFL,
Coffin's wobbly balls.
Chad Johnson, you remember how he was supposed to try out?
Yeah.
So someone offered him a tryout, and then he said, "No, I'm good." He canceled the tryout.
Do you expect anything different?
I thought he matured. I thought he finally matured a little bit, and but man, he got me.
Chad Johnson.
Yeah,
Isn't he playing professional soccer?
that's why he wanted to try out for as an XFL kicker.
Oh, kicker.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant the receiver.
But,
Well, I mean, for the 4 games, it was. I didn't think it was bad football. I definitely think beat AFAFA. And I know they beat them with ticket sales too.
yeah, the first week, all
Average-
the tickets,
Average game was what, 20,000 people
17 to 20,000. Yeah,
watching there, not TV ratings.
They did it pretty good. Like DC plays in the soccer stadium, so the place is packed. So it looks, you're
Right,
watching
yeah.
a football game and the game is packed. It's pretty cool.
I even texted my dad because it was kind of funny because he was totally against it. He's like, I'm not going to watch it. He'll have Hulk Hogan jumping off the top of the stadium with a chair. And I'm like, Dad, I actually legit think Vince McMahon is going to take this time serious.
Yeah, the last time it was a joke.
Yeah, last time was all gimmicks, all about the gimmick. And this time it actually does legit seem. And even the hits seemed a lot harder because they're not worried about getting fined by Roger Goodell for
Well,
sneezing.
they're trying to make it, is what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, Ricky Prohl's kid looked good.
Yes, he did.
Former Cardinals receiver, St. Louis too, correct?
I think he played
Correct.
St. Louis too.
But he played on Seattle, and that was one of their bright spots.
Yeah.
Looks like his father in a young version, so
He had
Pretty good.
He had, I think, the first touchdown of his career was just like a Patrick Mahomes, just almost got knocked out of bounds and somehow kept his feet in, regained his balance, and just took off like a lightning. So
Space lightning?
I also did a poll on Twitter to see how everybody's feelings about it. And I said, good, bad, or a little bit of both. And 59% said good, and 41% said a little of both. None said bad. So, I mean, I think...
Did you thank the whole 7 people that took it?
17. And 2 of those are my account.
We really need fans, folks.
No, but, talking about my dad, he even got hooked because my mom texted me Sunday, was like, I thought, I'd get your father back after the Super Bowl. Goddamn Vince McMahon. But, no, I thought it was entertaining. What was, like, some of the...
Matt McGloin looked good for New York.
That's what I keep hearing.
McGloin did look good. I watched that game. He was very good.
Even Cardell Jones.
He was so-so.
Well, fuck you.
I mean, he was so-so.
I mean, yeah.
That was
DC
Houston
looks
quarterback?
good, though.
Houston's quarterback?
No,
DC's.
Oh, that's who it was.
Yeah.
So when I stopped
Houston's
over...
quarterback is P.J. Richardson, I guess his name is. He was Temple's quarterback under the guy who just took over Carolina.
Okay, Jesus Christ, Matt Rule.
Matt Rule.
There you go.
Matt
was with
Rule.
Temple. Was with Temple, and this guy was his quarterback, and he was pretty legit.
So let me ask, you guys watching again this week?
Oh, hell
No
yeah.
doubt about it. Yeah.
Well, with that said, why don't we tell the fans what they could look forward to? This Saturday at 2 p.m., we will have New York versus D.C. Game of unbeatens.
Should be a good game.
DC.
Then we have at 5 p.m. on Saturday, Tampa Bay versus Seattle. Two teams looking for a win.
I may lose a son that day because
Aaron Murray didn't look bad that game.
No, he didn't. But my oldest is the Tampa Bay fan, so
They wound up being in the red zone 4 or 5 times, but turned the ball over.
Sunday at 3, we have Dallas versus
them.
L.A. Hopefully L.A. can get their first win. And
And
St.
keep a
Louis
coach.
versus Houston. So
So-
that's 2 unbeatens.
all right. Let me ask you. Let's start with the L.A. Dallas. Did you say? Who's L.A. playing?
Dallas.
Let me ask you. Over under. What are you taking on how many coaches are being fired Monday? I'm going to start with the over under at 3 for L.A.
Under.
I'm going to say under, but a close under.
Okay. I think it's going to be over. It's pretty messed up. One game into the season, they're the Cleveland Browns, the laughing stock
And
of the
the
season.
one name they actually have on the whole coaching staff.
Yeah. How'd you guys feel about the hearing the coaches call the plays, as well as the F-bomb being dropped and they mistimed the sensor? Did you see that?
That part I didn't
The
get.
Seattle game, DC did a goal line stand, and a lot of times as they're coming off the field, a reporter will jump right in their face, like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Well, this reporter was like, so what did you guys see out there?
Fuck!
Yeah, pretty much. And he goes, we were just out there just trying to fucking stop them, and then it was about a 2-second wait. Then they beeped him out when he didn't say no curse words. Me and my 2 boys were watching it. The youngest didn't hear it. Don't know how. And the oldest one started laughing.
He had
Looked
an
at him.
Allen moment. Looking up at the ceiling.
He had some beef jerky in his mouth.
I'm new to this show, trying to be calm and nice for you guys. I could take over.
You scare us with the stare. I don't know if you're dead or not. I gotta come over and push your chest.
I think we're getting him because
I'm gonna have to get a defibrillator down here.
I ain't giving you mouth to mouth, motherfucker.
I like the whole thing of being able to hear the plays, be in touch with
it's
the
different
coaches,
perspective.
and the replay. The way they do the replay makes the NFL better get shaped up with it, because these guys prove how easy it is.
Yeah.
He went upstairs to the booth. There's one guy sitting in front of the TV
With an Xbox controller.
With the extra,
He looks at the few different angles, makes the call, and that's the call. It's done.
Now you said you could see the NFL taking the kickoff rule over there. I think you'll see the replay rule before anything changes in the NFL, like from the XFL.
But needless to say, some stuff from the XFL will make the NFL.
Now, before the season kicked off, the other thing I did like was the ongoing play clock never stopped. Game clock.
25 seconds.
25 seconds. And the first half of the Seattle game was an hour and 10 minutes because I was curious to see if they would do it. I'm like, oh, wow, they're actually going to have a full game in 2 hours compared to NFL where it's like 3.5, 3:45.
It's slowed down.
Then it's slowed down. And I'm like, well, okay, so I guess.
It
But
averages
they
it out.
still hit roughly what they want. I think it ended up being 3 hours.
Well, they have a 3-hour window with commercials and TV allotted them 3 hours.
Yeah.
So they don't have much time after that to do.
Yeah.
But the 25-second clock definitely speeds it up a little bit. And it does run until 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Then what they do is they give you the first 5 seconds when the ball is set.
Yeah.
Then the clock runs. So you have 5 seconds after every play.
Now, the other rule that is different than the NFL is the college rule. How do you guys feel about the 1 foot in?
I sort of like the
I kinda
1
do
foot
too.
rule.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah. I mean, yes, these players, in essence, are putting film together so the NFL teams could hire them. But let's be honest, if you're going to be an NFL player, you're going to be used to doing that 2 feet in anyways. But there was some catches with the 1 foot in were really nice.
It's 2 feet, 1 foot.
Yes.
You can't have 1 feet.
Listen, asshole, I got 2 hours of sleep because my dog kept waking me up last night.
What's the matter? Have peanut butter under the mouth again?
Shh. He liked it crunchy.
Poor dog. Somebody call PETA.
But overall, the product was good. I have to say,
Yeah,
the product
I thought it
was good.
It was definitely better gameplay, too. Like, I just felt like there was a little better quality players on the field.
I think we're actually going to get to see the playoffs in this league.
Well,
I don't know. By the way, with 8 teams, how does the playoffs work? Top 2?
Top 2 in the East. There's 4 from the East, and there's 4 from the West.
Yeah.
Top 2 from each play, and then what are they calling it? The XFL Bowl? I don't know what they're calling it.
They're supposed to have a conference, I believe, tomorrow to announce they're going to have it in Houston.
And each game they win $100,000.
Yeah. I didn't know that going in. I heard that on the Seattle game.
Who wins $100,000?
Each team wins $100,000 each game they win. So New York won $100,000 this week for their players.
Right, so they got an extra, $50?
Hey, $50, $50.
It's better than half of us sitting in the airport.
They're still sitting there. Hey, guys, where you guys at?
There's a lot more excitement with this league than that league.
Yeah, so before we go, I want to bring up about this whole Pete Rose thing. Now, we talked about the Houston Astros situation.
Every rose has its thorn.
Since you just brought up the Astros, you heard the new news today, right? That Carlos Beltran was the ringleader.
Yeah, he told Houston they were behind their times on their cheating. That's what I saw. But he was also with the Yankees when they won the World Series.
In 2007?
Right.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Carlos Beltran was not on that team.
But 17 wasn't it?
They haven't won the World Series since 2009, and he wasn't on that team.
That you know of.
I know for a fact he wasn't.
Maybe he was just banging trash cans.
He was the one banging the trash cans. Fastball.
Whatever, guys.
That's an interesting beat.
You can't bring down
You
class.
like the beat.
Yankees don't need to do that shit.
Well, obviously they do if they haven't won since 2007.
9.
Felt like that.
This year they'll win.
Yeah.
That means you got to cut Allen short.
Good one. Good one.
Oh, you're funny there. Our shoulders begin. You're funny.
He's triggered.
There it is again.
So Juan, when you hear that means hit the mute button.
Well, you already muted me for half the show already.
I know it was great for that half hour.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's right though. They're letting all these players go basically. So then why is Pete Rose not allowed in to the Hall of Fame?
Exactly. And I really think
what is the Pete Rose thing going on?
So Pete Rose.
Well, they said now that these players are, even though they were caught cheating, and decided to get their dishonored the game, which Pete Rose just betted on the games.
Right.
They're letting them go, and they can still play, but Pete Rose is still out of the Hall of Fame. So his attorneys
and let them play their careers, but they never have a chance at the Hall of Fame because they cheated. Or should they get treated like the Black Sox?
Yeah, but Pete Rose wasn't allowed to finish his career.
See, that's what Pete Rose is trying to say is you guys treat these players like the Black
Sox. I agree with Pete Rose.
Yeah, but that's his leg that he's standing on is saying you're not even punishing these players. You got to let me back to be reinstated.
Let him back in. I agree.
How the hell do you get a talking leg?
It's on SpongeBob. You never seen it?
No, I want one.
$25.99 plus shipping and handling. But yeah, I mean, I think if he doesn't get reinstated, I think he has a huge lawsuit.
Right, the lawyers are looking into it. So.
I would keep going with it, and I even think even before this Astros thing, he's going on 30-some years. He bet on his
own
team
to win.
Exactly, not even
to win, right?
And 30 years. I mean, come on, you got Mark McGwire. And Barry Bonds, and then with the steroids.
Players should be able to bet if their team could win.
But
you can't even fault them either because they save baseball.
And actually, I'm glad you brought that up. Is now players could bet legally,
right?
So
are they allowed to though?
Yes,
on their own teams.
I'm not sure if it's on their own teams, but
There
it
you
says
go.
Right. I would have a problem if he betted on his own team to lose
Yeah.
and then went out there and stunk it up.
yeah,
He bet on the win, so it's not like he did anything to hurt the game.
yeah, or to tank his team. But like,
I'm total agreement with the Pete Rose thing. It needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Number
no
3.
doubt.
I got one. We're gonna start playing games every week. Who could get right the most?
It's not about right. It's about agreeing with what you're saying.
One mute button. Mute button.
Oh, shit. See.
Man,
Al-
he's like a child over there.
Who, one or shoulders?
Shoulders.
You swear.
Gets onto a new game, and now he's like, oh my God, let's do this. Let's keep doing
You
this.
swear one and shoulders is the same person.
Hey, that's how you got on this
yeah.
show. I kept telling Jim, let's keep doing this.
Don't kill,
We'll take
Don't
a quick
kill the
commercial
doc-
break while Alan finds his lungs.
don't kill the guy. We don't have insurance yet.
I don't have a
That's right.
defibrillator. Oh, wait, I got this 9-volt battery and some wires.
That's all
Clear!
I need.
So yeah, I guess we all agree. Pete Rose, definitely should win this argument, and
With all the corruption in all the sports,
this
and
is so
all the
so
steroids
petty.
and all this other shit where there's asterisks, he's a part of baseball. Stop it already,
Yeah.
man.
And they gotta do this before he passes away, because once he passes away, he's not eligible for Hall of Fame if he gets reinstated after his death.
So if I take my kids to Cooperstown,
Cooperstown,
Okay,
Okay,
New
Cooperstown?
York, where Hall of Fame is.
not Cooperstown, because
That was in
Cooperstown
Ohio.
to New York.
that was Miami.
Let's
Ooh,
all kidding
Miami,
aside,
Miami.
people. Let's get together with reality here.
Oh, we're pissing him off.
Coopersburg?
Yeah, Coopersburg. It's a good cheese.
I'll entertain them a minute while you catch your breath.
So,
Take a minute.
Take-
Sorry, he's re-kicking, starting his lungs here, folks. Give him a minute. Take a minute.
you go to Cooperstown, take your kid to the Hall of Fame, and you go inside. No one's in there to say, oh, he cheated, or he did steroids,
Yeah.
or he did this. He was a great player doing what he did.
Right.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
I don't see a problem with
They
it.
go ahead and they bash McGuire, they bash Sosa. Those two saved baseball.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Even Mark McGuire.
They saved it.
yeah.
Don't
I mean,
you remember going
Jose
home every night and
Canseco.
watching the break-ins every night when him and Sosa were in
No
the home run
different than
battle?
Daryl Strawberry snorting the foul lines.
And Darryl and Gooden. Doc
Gooden
Gooden,
too.
too.
So-
It's hypocritical. It always been. Every sport.
Yeah.
And, we even said it how everybody's favorite thing to say was, I love watching college sports because it's more pure. Look how much they fucked up this year. College sports was turned into bullshit, too. So,
Even college football. We have a couple minutes left. Let me ask you about this too, because Michigan State has a new football coach. They just hired the Colorado football coach. Do you think it's right that these college coaches could just up and leave whenever they want, no matter if they have a contract in place or not, compared to players? They got entered as, quote, transfer.
well, they're going to
transfer
stop
portal.
that now.
Where did
Apparently
Michigan State's coach go?
He resigned because there's some shit going behind the scenes now.
Well, right, but here's my thing is they're now changing it that if they want to transfer,
Okay.
they don't have to wait anymore.
Oh, yeah,
They
the
don't have to
kids
sit
can
out a
just
year.
transfer.
They're
Okay.
revamping that this year, and I think it's because people said,
Yeah.
just like you just did, hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like when Alan smells beef jerky. And they're going to change it because they look like they have egg on their face. Like
Yeah.
When we
after
come
Alan
back here
drinks.
next time, there better be a sponsorship for beef jerky. I'll tell you that right now.
Why? You get an extra beef jerky?
Just saying.
He doesn't want to get paid. He wants to get paid in beef jerky. Okay, yeah. So I think that's gonna be it for this week.
Wait, I thought we had one more topic.
Well, we did.
Yeah.
What?
Well, look at your notes. We forgot about one.
Baseball playoffs. Playoffs. The
Baseball playoffs.
the postseason. They're thinking about expand.
Adding 2 teams.
I thought it's 4.
No, each
10
league,
10
2 in
oh,
each
yeah.
league.
That's 4.
No, the XFL, we have Pete Rose.
Yeah.
There's something else on that list. I said, yeah, we'll do that too.
Phillip Rivers.
Right.
Oh, there we go. Oh, I see what you want to do. You just want to do this segment so Allentown could get something right, so he could get a 1, not a 0.
No, I was hoping he finally kicks the bucket over. I'm back.
I'm coming off pneumonia, brother.
So it came out that Philip Rivers,
frazzled,
Philip Rivers, and
frazzleated.
he's trying to tune you out because he's looking at me and I feel uncomfortable.
That's because you don't like getting stared at by a Sasquatch.
So Philip Rivers and the Chargers are mutually agreeing to part their ways.
Free agent on the river.
Yep, floating on down the river, floating.
Good quarterback out there.
Is he the Dan Marino of our era?
Could be.
Because, I mean, you look at all the stats and never...
Maybe when he played in Ace Ventura. You got any more of that gum, Ace?
So, actually, I'm glad you remind me about the Philip Rivers. So, let's do our what if segment with Rivers. What if the Giants never traded Eli for Rivers? Would Rivers have won the Super Bowl with the Giants?
Yep.
Okay.
Way to back that statement up.
I thought you were going
I think he did. We had this discussion a few weeks back, and you shoulders brought up to me, well, who would you rather in there besides Eli? Rivers? Any day of the week.
Yeah.
And I went back and I looked at all the stats, and I did all that.
Yeah,
He's had a better career than Eli.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate
Except for...
Except he didn't have the two defenses that Eli had the years he won the Super Bowl.
Except for...
Ernest Biner. He's so not coming back next week.
Oh, I'm back. You ain't got to worry about that.
Who's that running back? The no-name guy, you know. Won the Super Bowl with the Redskins.
200 yards. Never heard of him again.
Ernest Biner? No, that's not him.
Ernest Biner. I know who Ernest Biner is. So why are we back to Ernest Biner when we're talking about legitimate quarterback?
Are you getting fragilitated?
Not a chance. Just making my point. Now,
So,
Eli doesn't deserve the Hall of Fame, and he does.
You think Eli does, again, still is...
I do. I don't think his career was... overall, no. I don't think he was...
Do you think Eli's career would have been even worse if he was with the Chargers?
No, I think he would have done well with the Chargers, too.
I think he would have won.
I don't know about
But,
that.
you know, I was thinking about that and kind of going with your, Giants had two defenses, this and that. Chargers, yeah, they had Sean Merriman, Cromartie, but they're really the only two big names on defense that were there when Rivers was there. So if Eli were to go there, yes, you had Antonio.
When did Cromartie play there?
Early on, like right around when Sean Merriman was playing.
Sean Merriman, the basketball player?
Merriman, the lights out, tattoo lights out.
The middle linebacker he's talking about.
No.
No, this is after Sam.
So, well, there you go. I mean, they have no defense. I mean,
The defenses went back because they had Tomlinson and they were running with Phillip. They had a chance at the Super Bowl.
But that's all they had was offense.
No, their defense was no joke.
Yeah. I mean, the Giants' defense was better.
I have never seen a critical moment where Philip Rivers has won anything.
True. I mean, he went to the AFC Championship game.
One game we can think of where he overtook it and won it.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I'm not. I like Philip Rivers. I also like his tenacious will to win.
Yeah.
And the 15 kids he has. I commend him for that.
Cheers to him for that.
I don't see how you can say Eli with 2 Super Bowls doesn't deserve to get in, and Philip Rivers
look
never
at Eli's
wowed me enough.
stats to his career. So.
Is he falling asleep?
It's Eli, exactly.
I think he was Mr. Magoo in it.
Exactly my point.
What was the guy that Chumley that got the burgers? If you give me a hamburger today, I'll give you $2 tomorrow.
That's Popeye.
So with Philip Rivers
he ate
going to free agency, some other notable quarterback free agents: Drew Brees. As of right now, Tom Brady. As of right now, Dak Prescott. But the rumor is that they're going to franchise him.
I want to see Philip Rivers go to Dallas.
Why? Just to see him get murdered by Brandon Graham and Nigel Bradham?
Oh, so he could win them a Super Bowl with a stellar defense.
He's glaring at you. Don't look at him. Don't look the other way.
No, I mean, all right, let's break this down real quick. What team do we think would be the best fit for Phillip then? I mean, thinking
Honestly,
offhand.
Tampa Bay. Jameis
You know
Winston,
what?
Jameis Winston's a free agent, and he's.
That wouldn't be a bad move with
They're
their
talking
receiver
about
core.
bringing Jameis Winston to Philly as a backup.
I also saw Marcus Mariota. If they bring Winston,
He
I
can
will.
stay down in Florida.
Yeah, I will burn the
I'm
stadium
telling
down.
you.
I know, but I'm
He's one
telling
of
you,
the
I
three
don't agree.
choices they're saying to bring to town.
Yeah, I'd rather Mariota over.
Me too.
Over Winston.
I'll take Mariota.
And then
He's got a lot in his tank. He just got beat up too bad in Tennessee for too many years.
yeah.
And then when they finally have a team, they're like, I mean, so what do you think? Ryan Tannehill is the Phillip Rivers?
No, it was the
No.
move they needed to make at that moment
Right,
in time,
yeah.
though.
But
But
I think it's because Mariota got too beat up.
yeah, and he definitely needs a new place to go.
Right, he needs
Start
a fresh
over.
start.
Yeah,
Some healing,
yeah.
a little ambiance, a candle or two.
Maybe the Robert Kraft place
Some-
he went to.
Yes, a little lavender rub and tug.
Well, let's see. Who's in need of quarterbacks out there right now?
Tampa Bay. Well, all right, let's go. So no one in our division.
You don't
Bears.
think Washington needs a quarterback?
No,
They just drafted Haskins. They're not going to waste.
Like I said, you don't think they don't need a quarterback?
If they bench him for any other quarterback, unless his name
I
is
think
Tom Brady.
Haskins should be in the Hall of Fame over Eli.
I'd love it when you don't agree with Shoulders. It comes up with ridiculous statements.
You're on fire today.
Him and Ernest Biner can go all the way.
And you're over there laughing like a buffoon. It's an idiocy.
It's funny.
I'm sorry, Al. Did you think we made this show to be normal? You're in the wrong fucking basement, man. We're supposed to be at the bar drinking and on this show.
Oh, God.
I mean, maybe another team, Chicago Bears. I don't think Trubisky's the answer there in Chicago.
He'd help them. He'd win with them.
What about Detroit with Patricia?
You got Stafford there
You still
still.
got Stafford there, though.
Yeah, but he's been hurt off and on.
Yeah, but
This is
I
his first year.
I don't think-
I threw a comment out there.
see you're wrong, and then he jumps down your throat. Oh,
know.
it's my chance. I got to do it.
Why do you gotta? Why do you have to agree with him like a buffoon?
Like a buffoon. I said,
There's too much buffoonery around here.
So St. Louis, Atlanta, they're set.
about the
Seattle
Dolphins?
set. Dolphins were another.
Cleveland.
That was.
You got to get as far away from what's his name as possible.
How about the Raiders?
They're looking to get rid of Derek Carr.
Really?
Oh, they've been for 2 years now.
He's
Derek
not
Carr's the
happy with-
problem.
Him
He's
and
not
Gruden.
happy with Derek Carr.
Yeah,
I
him-
don't think he's the problem there.
But the problem is him and Gruden don't get along. Even though on TV it looks like they're okay, but they're not.
That's right. I mean, it is
And Jimbo knows that.
Yes, I am right.
Firsthand.
So 3-2-1. Ravens.
Lamar Jackson.
That guy shouldn't even be playing football.
He should be a wide receiver.
We'll see after this year with Lamar Jackson.
Well,
I don't think you're
in
gonna
the playoffs.
Where there's
Yeah.
a whole nother year of
I
studying
don't think you're
him.
going to see
and-
him as good as this past year, but he's not going to.
Oh, he's not
plummet
going to
off.
fade off totally.
Yeah,
Right.
I think. I agree. I think they're going to be caught up. So no other teams.
Cincinnati's
wouldn't
going to
be
go
a
out and
bad
draft a number one.
What was that?
I think Tampa Bay would be a good fit.
I think because Bruce Arians there, he's the
You
quarterback
got a
whisperer.
good coach, a good team around you.
Okay,
decent
so
defense.
here's the next question. Who's the team for TB?
I wish he would take a backup job and
TB?
have Teddy Bridgewater.
No. Teddy Bridgewater? When I say TB, you come up with Teddy Bridgewater?
Yeah,
It's the only one I put in my head.
Yeah,
Tom Brady?
Oh.
TB?
Everybody
Oh.
calls him
I mean-
some kind of furry animal.
I mean,
What?
I mean,
We're being realistic here. Talking about buffoonery. He's not leaving the Patriots.
Well, no, that's exactly my point. Is all it is just leverage to go back to the Patriots. Exactly my point.
He's not a Hall of Fame quarterback. Can't even beat a backup quarterback
he won
in
a
the
bunch
Super
of
Bowl,
Super Bowls, but they were all defense.
and can't beat a backup quarterback in a Super Bowl.
I think he almost blew the gas. He just looked up to the ceiling and went,
No, but I do agree with you. I think with with Tom Brady. I think it is all ploy. He'll be back with the Patriots.
Well, I don't think he should be in the Hall of Fame
I
because
can't even believe
he's
that
cheated.
He's cheated. Oh my God.
Spygate, Deflategate, Open Gate, Backdoor Gate.
Hall of Fame gate.
Folks,
It got locked.
folks, we have officially broken Allentown.
Oh God. That's
He's
so
literally
funny.
crying. So Tom Brady, I think, is going to be back with the Patriots.
Good thing we could delete the last 30 minutes of the show. Well, folks, I mean, another fun, interesting show.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Hopefully you enjoy a little bit of our buffoonery.
And sorry about Allentown being.
You have any
Yeah.
last comments, Allentown?
You apologize about me. I missed the show.
One mute.
Too much buffoonery.
But before we go, though, head over to Twitter. Follow us there at ST Sports Podcast. Like and share our Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel. Me and Shoulders started working on the live feed, video feed last week. Working on it. Also, head over to podchaser.com and leave us a 5-star review there.
Or 2, I don't care. Just leave us a review.
Yeah.
Be honest.
No, leave a 5-star. If you leave anything less than that, I'll find you and hunt you down and have some Jameson with you.
Well, you can reach me at STS O'Brien on Twitter. You?
Jimbo ST Sports.
Allentown.
What's your Twitter handle?
Then Twitter. There's things called Twitter.
Buffoonery.com.
There you go. I got his burner account.
Sasquatch Buffoon.
Definitely not.
Johansson. Love you, Alan.
So till next
Love you
week,
guys too. Glad I can come make the show official.
we are out.
Peace.
Peace.